Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and attendees, the event of the Proficient 2026 Day 2 International Community Service Program will begin in a few minutes. The second day event will be held online by using the Zoom meeting application. Therefore, I can request for all online participants to turn on the camera and mute the microphones. Thank you for your kind attention. Ladies and gentlemen, to commence the event, let us all join together in singing the Indonesian National Anthem Indonesia Raya, followed by Perbanas Institute Mars.
Bersatu padulah mahasiswa, pengemban amanat bangsa. Tuntutlah ilmu, kobarkanlah api semangatmu. Sumbangkan baktimu untuk negara, laksanakan tridharma dan berjanjikan mengabdi pada Bunda Pertiwi. Jalankanlah tekad kita menuju cita mulia, berdasarkan Pancasila sebagai falsafah bangsa. Tingkatkanlah semangat kita demi nusa bangsa. Majulah keluarga kita, Institut Perbanas Jaya.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are truly honored to welcome all participants to this event for the opening session of the 4th Perbanas International Conference on Economics, Business, Management, Accounting, and Information Technology, or Proficient 2026. International Community Service, which being conducted online through Zoom meeting. This event also marked as one of the activities in celebration of the 57th anniversary of Perbanas Institute Jakarta. We are grateful for your presence and look forward to a productive and enriching exchange of knowledge and ideas throughout the program. First and foremost, I would like to extend my warm greeting to all distinguished guests who have honored with us today. Allow me to honor and welcome Vice Rector for Resources and Research Development, Professor Haryono Umar. Good morning, Prof. Haryono.
Morning.
Yeah. Our panelists, both from within the country and abroad, Dr. Sofian Lusa, CEO and co-founder Tourism Tech, TUIPWI, Senior Researcher Lab E-Governance, University of Indonesia. Bapak Sofian, good
Very good
morning.
morning, Pak. Good morning, Pak.
Yeah. And then we have Dr. Hajah Halimutur Radiah binti Haji Metusin, Head of Al Tamayus Center for Promotion of Knowledge and Language from Sultan Syarif Ali Islamic University, Brunei Darussalam. Good morning, Ibu.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. And then we have Dr. Serzot Kanaev, Vice Rector for Research and International Relations, Tashkent International University, Uzbekistan. Dr. Serzot? Okay. And then Dr. Nam Chamtri, Vice President from Economics and Finance University, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
Yeah,
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mr. Nam Chamtri.
Good morning, Mr. Aji Damawan.
Yeah,
Good morning,
okay.
Professor Haryono, and everyone. Yeah, have a nice day.
Yeah, and all the deans, faculty members, invited guests, presenters, and partners who are present in this event. Once again, thank you for your presence and participation in this event. In this special occasion, we would also extend our deepest gratitude and appreciation to all our sponsors and partners for their support and contribution to the success of this event. Allow me to mention all the sponsors and partners of this event: Asuransi Stako Mandiri, PT Bank Rakyat Indonesia Persero Tbk, Perbanas, Perhimpunan Bank Nasional, Lembaga Penjamin Simpanan, Otorita Jasa Keuangan, APB Group, PT Rinti Sejahtera, PT Pegadaian, Bank Mandiri, PT Tri Wahana Universal, PT Sarana Multi Infrastruktur Persero, PT Bank Sentral Asia Tbk, PT Pertamina Persero, PT Bank Negara Indonesia Persero Tbk, PT Inti Indosawit Subur, PT Jaminan Kredit Indonesia, BTN, BRI Life, PT Asuransi Tripakarta, PT Asuransi Kredit Indonesia, PT Bank Syariah Indonesia Tbk, Alobank, BRI Insurance, PT Raja Wali Nusantara Indonesia Persero atau ID Food, PT Permodalan Nasional Madani, PT BNI Life Insurance, dan PT Bank Victoria International Tbk. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the opening speech of the fourth Proficient 2026 International Community Services by Vice Rector for Resources and Research Development of Perbanas Institute. May I now invite Professor Haryono Umar to deliver his speech. Prof. Haryono, the time and screen is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Adi Darmawan. And also, I would like to thank to the Director of the Research and Community Service of the Perbanas Institute, General Laksamana Patria, PSD, and also the all participants, of course, and all. And I would like to thank to my very valuable colleagues. The first one is from the University of Indonesia. Dr. Sofian Lusa, SAMCOM, from the University of Indonesia, and also my future, my potential colleagues from the Brunei Darussalam, because we have already planning to go to visit Dr. Haja Halima Tusadia binti DSS Haji Matusin. Maybe next time we will come to visit you, and I really eager to come to the Brunei Darussalam because I get a lot of good information about the Brunei and about your university. And also, I would like also thank you to Dr. Sharazot Kamanev, the Vice Rector of the Research and International Relation of the Tashkent International University. And this is one of my dream also to visit the Uzbekistan, because at the time in the Uzbekistan it's not only a very good view, very good scenery, and very good country, but also we have a very good relationship between Indonesia and Uzbekistan. You know, the first president of Indonesia have already come to Uzbek, and then he found the funeral of the apa tu, one of the Rasulullah sahabat. And of course, I'm very happy to meet again my best friend from Philippines, because less maybe about 2 years ago, I visited Ho Chi Minh City and got the very good uh, a lot of happy time with Dr. Nan Chamtree, and very good food also, very good scenery. Of course, the Vietnam. I really like being in Vietnam, and I still dream to come to visit the University of Economic of the Vietnam again. Hopefully next time. Okay, and of course, um, uh, the the second day of the provision of the fourth provision of the Perbanas Institute. Um, the second day is about the how to build the integrity-driven innovation, reimaging business, finance, and digital transformation for sustainable development. I think this topic is very important right now, especially with the the geopolitics, and also with the sustainability uh, development that also raised by all of the country in the world. You know, and uh, ladies and gentlemen, the one that will and then uh, make a definition, the real definition of the integrity in the world is only Haryanomar. You know, according me, in my a lot of publication, also in journal, and the some of my books, and I I make a cluster about the integrity. The first cluster of integrity, I think this is the low level of integrity. The low level of integrity is I said that it's a comply. Anytime, whenever you comply to the code of ethics, comply to the internal regulation, comply to the external regulation, comply to the law, whether it's a national law or international laws, you will say that you will be I can say that you are integrity people. Integrity people is always happy, just like Dr. Nam, and also Dr. Sofian, and Dr. Halimah, and Dr. Sehros. They are also happy people. It means, in my opinion, all of the speaker, all of the our colleague here, they are very integrity people. The second cluster of integrity is the middle level of integrity. I said that the middle level of integrity is consistent. Anytime, whenever you comply, as a regular people, you comply. Then whenever you become the the leaders in a country, leaders in society, leaders in company, and leaders anytime, anything, anywhere, any place. I said that you are also one of the integrity people, the very high level of integrity. And the third level of the integrity, I think, I mean, the top level of integrity is the standalone. Even though so many people, even though all of the people do the wrong thing, but you still have a good struggle to maintain the integrity, to maintain the compliance. So we need these people like this one. And also relating to the business, as we know, right now because of the digitalization that's said by the Peter Diamandis, there are 6 Ds of exponential growth. So whenever your business will, you hope to, you know, uh, growth and exponential growth, not linear growth. You have to maintain your integrity. So the integrity is very important, not only for the big business, but also for the community services. Right now in Indonesia, for the community services, as long as your AMSAT is not more than 4.5 billion rupiahs, the tax tariff is only uh, uh, 0.5%. So this is one of the support by the government of Indonesia, and the community service is very important, not only for our discussion but also how to support them by this the second day of the provision. Um, Once again, this is very good time for us to discuss about the integrity in terms of the community services and in terms of the businesses, and hopefully uh, we will deliver something good, not only for the in terms of the academic, but also in terms of the how the government prepare the policies for supporting the community service, and also the you know the community service will find good strategy to implement the 6 Ds of exponential growth. I think that's all from the Perbanas Institute. And once again, thank you very much. And hopefully we can enjoy the international conference today, and we will get a lot of information relating our very valuable and very smart speakers all over the world. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Professor Harino Umar for the opening remarks of this event. And next, we kindly request Professor Harino Umar to present the certificates of appreciation to all panelists and moderator of today's event. The certificates of appreciation will be awarded to Dr. Sofian Lusa, CEO and co-founder Tourism Tech, TWIPWI Senior Researcher and Lab E-Governance, University of Indonesia.
Thank you so much, Pak Adi and Professor Haryono.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sofian Lusa.
Thank you.
Lusa, we will meet, but today we meet through the Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you, Pak. Thank you, Prof.
Okay.
And then the second certificate of appreciation will be awarded to Dr. Haja Halimatur Radiah binti Haji Matushin, head of Al Tamayus Center for Promotion of Knowledge and Language from Sultan Sarif Ali Islamic University, Brunei Darussalam.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Radiah from Yunusa. I can't wait any longer to see you, to meet you in Brunei. Okay,
Yeah.
hopefully in June, this June or next month, we have time to visit you in Brunei. This is the certificate, and once again, thank you very much for your time, for your knowledge to share to us, to Indonesia and all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
And then the next certificate of appreciation also will be awarded to Dr. Zerzot Kanaev, Vice Rector for Research and International Relations, Tashkent International University of Uzbekistan.
Good morning, Dr. Sarjot, and
Good morning.
one of my dream right now is come to Uzbek. Hopefully, we have
Yeah,
time,
sure.
and also I can see you in the university. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You are more than welcome, always. Whenever
Okay.
you have time, just visit.
Okay.
And the last certificate of appreciation will be awarded to Dr. Nam Cham Tri, Vice President from Economics and Finance University, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
Hello, my best friend, Dr. Nam. Okay. Last
Yeah,
time in Ho Chi Minh, I'm very happy.
yeah.
Uh,
We hope that in the near future you will, with other people from Papanas Institute, will visit Ho Chi Minh City and UF campus again. Welcome you to
okay.
Vietnam.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
And
you very much for inviting me to be a
mm,
speaker for the international conference today.
yeah,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I also I also very happy to invite you to be one of the writer of my new book.
Yeah.
Uh, in the future, I'm still writing it and almost done. And
Yeah.
whenever done, I will let you know whether you want to be one of the writer in the book.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nan.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we move on the next agenda, which is the presentation of materials by our panelists. And for this session, I would like to invite Ibu Dr. Mardiana Purwanise. Ibu Mardiana, are you with us now?
Yes, Mas Adi.
Yeah, who will be the seminar moderator. And before we proceed to the panel discussion, allow me to read a brief or short CV of Ibu Dr. Mardiana. Dr. Mardiana Purwaningsih, she is the faculty members of Perbanas Institute, and currently she is the Dean of the Information and Technology Faculty Perbanas Institute Jakarta. She earned doctoral degree in computer science from University of Indonesia, a researcher and expert in smart city and tourism, and also digital government, focusing on digital transformation, sustainable urban development, technology-enabled tourism, and innovative public governance. Dr. Mardiana also actively involved in research, policy advisory, and academic collaboration that supports data-driven and citizen-centered development. And without any further ado, we can invite Ibu Dr. Mardiana. The time and session is yours now.
Oke, thank you Mas Adi. Good morning Bapak dan Ibu. Good morning distinguished speakers, respected guests, faculty members, students, all researchers and also all participants. Welcome to the community service session in the fourth Proficient Conference 2026, the second day on the international conference. It is very pleasure to have all you continue our discussion on how community services play an vital role in connecting between university, industry, government, and community. I hope we have the very interested and powerful discussion through meaningful engagement and innovative solution, and we can address the real world challenges and create the lasting benefit for our society. As a MC say, we have four speakers that will share their experience, best practice, and also insight for the field of community engagement and social development from the various countries. Dr. Sersot Kanaev from Tashkent International University, Uzbekistan, Dr. Hajjah Halimatus Radia binti DSS Haji Metusin from Unisa, Brunei Darussalam, Dr. Nan Chamtri from UAF Vietnam, and also Dr. Sofian Lusa from Universitas Indonesia. So we will start the first speaker. I will share the, okay, Panitia maybe can help to share the CV Dr. Nam Chamtri. Before we start the session, I will read the CV of Dr. Nam Chamtri as a first our speaker today. Dr. Nam Chamtri as a vice, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, Dr. Nam Chamtri as a Vice President, Ho Chi Minh City University of Economic and Finance, UEF Vietnam, and he has a PhD in Economic, major in International Business. In this session, Dr. Nam Chamtri is a distinguished academic leader with the intensive experience in higher education development, internationalization, and community engagement. Dr. Nam Chamtri, we honor to have you with us today and look forward for your presentation. And the screen is yours, sir. You can start your presentation today, about 15 until 20 minutes.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction, Dr. Mariana. Yeah, good morning, Professor Haryono, Vice Rector of Bobnas Institute, and dear own speakers, dear own delegate to join the conference today. It's my great pleasure to be invited as a keynote speaker for the section International Community Service. So now I would like to introduce about my study recently about community service we have done at UAF campus. So now I will share my slide to all of you. Wait a moment, I share it. Can you see my slide? Excuse me, can you see my slide here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So now I can start my presentation. Yeah, today I will tell you about community engagement activities at our campus, UEF, through a study, a service learning, university social responsibilities, and sustainable development approach.
Sorry, sir, can you screen?
Sorry?
Yes.
Can you see it now?
So screen. Yes, right there.
Yes. The abstract of my study. I would like to introduce you a model of service learning, community service at our campus, from volunteering to community engaged learning. Yeah, this study examine UAF community service activities through the lens of service learning, university social responsibilities, and education for sustainable development. I use a case study approach, document analysis, and secondary data from many community programs and engaged courses and international events to show how UAF connects academic knowledge, practical experience, social responsibilities, and community impact. And the findings of this study is to show you at our campus, community service has a shift from traditional volunteering to work a strategic interdisciplinary, internationalized, and sustainability-driven model of community-engaged learning. Now, first I talk about the research context. As you can see, this day, there is the evolving role of university. This day, as you can see, modern university expand the role. Now university beyond teaching and researching, we engage with social, environmental, and community issues, and service learning as an experiential education, because we can integrate academic learning, community service, and reflection. Through service learning, we can develop professional competencies and civic responsibilities for the student. And we also can help to set up a sustainability-oriented student mindset. For the UEF context, I would like to introduce a little bit about UEF. Our university have 3 criteria. First, we are an internationally oriented university. We are a university practice-based education, and we take the orientation to social responsibilities. We commit to sustainable development. And these 3 criteria can be proved through some key evidence, such as we have EA Summit, Entrepreneur, Dream Book Village, Climate Festival, Inclusive Young Leader Project. We will go into details about those activities later. For the past semester, we have 20 service learning courses. We also have a service learning center as an institutional platform, and we have many partners, domestic and international partnerships, to help us to cooperate with us for community service. How about the research gap? As we can see, these days, though there are many research, but research on service learning or community service still have some limitation. Limited research on service learning in Vietnam, lack of institutional level analysis, and insufficient study on implementation models, and limited examination of integrated components such as academic courses, community project, international events, sustainable development goals, and partner networks. So through this study, we will show you UEF as a practice-based reference model. So some objectives, research objective. Through this study, I will try to systematize UEF community service activities, analyze service learning integration at UEF, link with academic curriculum, student activities, and projects, assess academic, social, and sustainability-related values, propose a development model for higher education that any university in the world can apply. And we have the orientation, sustainability, interdisciplinarity, and measurable impact. So here are some core questions to guide the study. Number 1, how are community service activities implemented at UEF? Number 2, what service learning characteristics are reflected? Number 3, what value are generated for the student, the university, partners, and communities? And finally, how can UEF develop the model toward sustainability and scalability? For the literature review, so I think maybe many of you have know about the literature about the civic learning, about the community service already. So I just go very fast for this portion. Yeah. So as you can see, civic learning these days, not only the volunteering, it beyond the volunteering. It civic learning or community service, it must be a structured experiential learning. And when we talk about civic learning, we should focus on three core elements. That must have learning objective. That must cooperate with and offer a community service, and it must have academic reflection. When we talk about civic learning, it must be a credit-bearing, course-based experience, and it must have to address some real community needs, and it links with academic contents. It helps to develop the civic responsibility for the student, and it has a goal-oriented learning process. These days, people talk much about the USR. USR means University Social Responsibilities. How a university can be considered as the one who care about the social responsibilities? It must educate responsible citizens. It must create and transfer knowledge. It must promote community engagement. It must support sustainable social development. And we are pleased to be a model. UAF can be considered as an integrated USR case because at our university, we link education, civic learning, and community project together. We even internationalize our social responsibilities. It means that we cooperate with many international organizations to hold many activities, community service, not for the local people, not for the domestic, but for the international level. Some students from other university also can come to our university to cooperate with us. So we hope that in the near future, we can have some, we can have many delegation of students from your university, from Indonesia, come to Vietnam to cooperate with us in community service. So at the present time, we welcome many delegations like that already. So we internationalize our social responsibilities, and we also advance sustainability-oriented program. For sustainability-oriented programs, at the present time in some curriculum of our school, for example, for the faculties of international relation faculties, we also have the major of sustainabilities. We put it into the curriculum. So we can say that civic learning is a pathway to sustainable development. A pathway to sustainable development because it links academic knowledge with real-world issue. It develops civic responsibilities and social awareness. It connects university students and communities. Many activities at our UEF. We contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development SDG goals. For example, SDG number 4, quality educations. We have to offer the chance to study for the poor student. For SDG number 10, reduce inequalities, we supply for the disabilities people many supplies so that they can so that we can reduce the inequalities and match for the SDG number 10. For SDG number 13, climate action, we hold many conferences, we hold many seminar workshops about climate change to rising the awareness of climate change to the student. And for SDG number 17, partnership, we not only do the service learning ourselves, we try to cooperate with many partners, with the industry, with company, and we also cooperate with many social organizations in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam to hold the service, the community service. So it means that we enhance our partners. So we match the SDG number 17 partnership. Impact on the student. We are proud to confirm that through service learning, through community service, we increase and we help the student to develop a lot in many aspects. Multi-dimensional student development, application of academic knowledge in real context. Through some project, the student, they can apply their professional knowledge to address some real issue in the realities. Enhance through the activities of service learning, we can enhance the critical thinking and problem solving, improve the communication, teamwork, and adaptabilities for the student, strong academic and professional competencies, develop civic responsibilities and social awareness. Yes, after joining some project with the school, the student, they change their mind. They change their mind. They think that they should be more responsible to the society. They show it in their reflection, and it can help to increase the empathy, the compassion, and the service spirit to the student. This is the good point that service learning can offer to our student. And they also help to grow the leadership and the project management skill, because we let the student, they arrange everything. So only through the reality, the student can build up the leadership skill and their project management skill. So we would like to suggest a model, a framework. We would like to suggest a framework. When we talk about service learning, community service, a framework must have 4 elements. Number 1, that is academic integration. Number 2, that is the community impact. Number 3, that is student development. And number 4, that is the institutional engagement. I mean that number 4, we talk about the role of the university and the Service Learning Center, the faculties, the lecturers, the alumni, and the partners. And through analyze this framework, we will find out the value. That is the assess. We will assess the level of academic integration, analyze the community impact, identify the value for the student, and we clarify the role of institution and partners. For the methodology, I apply the qualitative case study approach for this study. And for the data sources, we use the secondary evidence from UEF sources. And I use the directed content analysis as a data analysis method for this study. Of course, there are some limitations. I hope that in the near future, we can enhance this research, because this study is mainly based on secondary data, the reliance and just reliant on media articles and descriptive reports. So it has a limited primary empirical empirical evidence. So it need for in-depth interview, and we suggested the participant in the near future, maybe student, lecturers, and community partners. Of course, after each project, after each seminar, we also have do the survey. However, for this, because this study, Dr. Chinan asked me to join the conference in just a short time, so I don't have enough time to do the survey for my study. This is very, very, very new. Yeah. So I think that is the limitation of this study. It need for the pre and post participant survey. Now I talk about what is the findings or the result of service learning community service at our university. Yeah, I would like to summarize in a model we call that is the community service ecosystem. To hold community service successfully, we need an ecosystem. We need an ecosystem with many elements, many components inside. That is number one, service learning courses. At the present time, we have 20 courses for last semester. In fact, we have more than 20. We have total, at the present time, we have 38 courses in our school, apply for many faculties. Number two, besides service learning courses, we must have community projects. Number three, we must have international events. Number four, we must have some activities about sustainable development. Number five, we must have some activities about social inclusion, apply for the intellectual disabilities or disabled people. Number six, we must set up an alumni network. And number seven, community partners. Yeah, all of those elements will set up an ecosystem for community service. And with those elements, we can help the community service at the university work well. Yeah, so here are some activities that we have done. Through international activities, we have to raising the social awareness for the student. Through some activities about the sustainable development, we educate the student about the climate change. Yeah, and through some direct community service projects, for example, we call that is a Dream Book Village. Our students, they go to the highlands of Vietnam, and they offer that they build up a library for the poor student there. Okay, and here are some key project data. Number of students participate is 60. And we are very happy when we have 15 among 60 students. There are 15 students. They are the alumni. They return to school and contribute many things, materials, money to this trip. And beneficiary children is more than 200 books. We donate more than 1,000 books. Stationery and supplies, we offer more than 800 sets. And besides supply of the materials for the student, our students also do some career orientation for the student. They hold many activities for the student, sport activities, something like that for the student. Yeah, we also offer one computer set, bookshelf, reading tables, and reading chairs for the student there to set up a library. Yeah, we are very happy when there are many former student, alumni, they return school and contribute. For inclusive young
Sorry, sir,
leaders.
maybe 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So we hold here's the number of service learning courses that we have hold at our school. Discussion, I would like to discussion. As you can see, through many activities we have hold, you can see that service learning or community service in UEF, we have a transfer from traditional volunteering to strategic service learning. Number two, interdisciplinarity in community service activities. Number three, we do the social responsibilities awareness for the student, but not at the domestic level, but at the international level. Because we cooperate with many organizations outside of Vietnam. Role of alumni. Here is the model. We suggest a model, what we call social responsibility university model. How university can be considered as a social responsibility university. It must have those elements. Number one, curriculum-based learning. Number two, project-based community engagement. Number three, we must educate about the sustainabilities. Number four, we must have some inclusive engagement. Number five, very important, we must have the alumni and partner network. That is the model. And we propose a model called socially responsible university. We have 5 levels. First, we must have the institutional vision, and from the vision of the big boss, the board management, we will put it into academic integration, and then we will move it to student engagement, and then we must have the community partnership, and finally we can hold social and sustainable impact. Research implication. Here are some implications. We towards institutionalized and sustainable service learning. With 8 ideas. So we go to the conclusion. UF community service activities are evolving from movement-based initiative into a structure, internationally oriented educational model. And here are some reference that I use for my study. Thank you very much for your listening. Thank you. Take time. Thank you a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nam. That's very interesting, but we can continue this and discussion in session and question and answer. Okay, Dr. Nan mentioned that the UAF has success shifting from the traditional community service to the international and sustainable community service, and open the collaboration there to faculty member of Urbanas Institute for the next community services research. Okay, so Bu Markona can follow up this very great opportunity. Thank you once again, Dr. Nam Chantri. So, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the second speaker. We have Dr. Hajah Halimatur Radia binti DSS Haji Matusin. Halo Ibu Hajah Halimatur Radia. Sorry. Ibu Hajah?
Hello.
Okay, yes, okay. I will read your CV before you start your presentation. Okay. Ibu, so I can call you Ibu Dr. Radia, is okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, Ibu Dr. Radia as a head of Tamayus Unit, Center of Promotion of Knowledge and Language, UNISA, Brunei Darussalam, also assistant professor and head of Tamayus Unit, University Islam Sultan Sarif Ali, Brunei Darussalam, 2020 to and until present got PhD in Education, Sultan Hasanah Bolkiah Institute of Education, 2015. Okay, ya. Dr. Radia has made significant contribute to knowledge promotion, language development, and community engagement initiative. Thank you so much that you are joined in our event today. And the screen is yours. You can start your presentation.
My slides will be shown up soon, isn't it? Should I start now? Yes, correct. All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pleasant good morning and warm greetings to distinguished moderator, fellow panelists, press organizers, researchers, practitioners, and participants joining from various countries. So first and foremost, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Perbanas Institute for the opportunity to be part of this very meaningful conference under the theme Integrity-Driven Innovation, Reimagining Business, Finance, and Digital Transformation for Sustainable Development. Right, so my name is Dr. Hajah Halimatul binti Datuk Sri Wajib Hussain. I'm actually the assistant professor. Sorry, there's a bit of typo there. I mentioned it's associate. I'm not associate yet. I'm still assistant professor, and I'm the head of the Tamayus unit at UNISA, University Islam Sultan Sharif Ali in Brunei Darussalam. So today I would like to share our experience through a presentation entitled Integrity-Driven Governance of International Student Mobility Lessons from Atamayus program at UNISA. So before I begin, allow me to ask simple questions. Yeah, so if you are comfortable, please, you can, perhaps you can reflect on these questions in your mind. Yeah, so does, here goes, the question is, does sending students abroad automatically create global citizens? Yeah. Does sending students abroad automatically create global citizens? So actually, many universities today, they invest heavily on the internalization. You know, students travel, they attend overseas universities, they participate in exchange programs, they complete internships abroad. But the question is, does the traveling automatically lead to transformation? Yeah. Does traveling automatically lead to transformation or not? So in my opinion, it's not necessarily, because here the students may cross international borders and yet return home unchanged. Yeah? So what truly transforms students is not mobility itself. It is actually the purpose, yeah, the governance, support system, values, integrity, all embedded throughout the mobility journey itself. So this is exactly what I would like to discuss today. Yeah. If you could move to the next slide, please. The global challenge. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Internalization has become one of the most important indicators of university success. And this is something that we cannot deny at all in every university. Yeah. So across the world, universities are competing to increase international ranking, establishing partnerships, and sending more students overseas. However, despite these achievements, many institutions continue to face significant challenges. So these are the challenges. For example, mobility that prioritizes numbers rather than impact, weak support systems for students. Yeah. We also have problems in credit transfer, And then student welfare concerns. Next, we have the partnerships that look impressive on paper, but actually the output is very little, little meaningful outcome. So as someone who manages international mobility programs, I have come to realize that the question is no longer how many students can we send abroad. Yeah, the more important question here is actually how can international mobility become meaningful and sustainable educational experience. Next slide. Yeah, so here you can see that that's the world map. Yeah, so from Brunei to the world. So this slide represents the international engagement ecosystem of Atamayu. So when people hear the term student mobility itself, they often imagine students traveling overseas for academic purposes. Yeah. So at UNISA, we view mobility as something much broader. Yeah. For us, mobility is about building bridges through education. It involves academic mobility, international. Can you move to the next slide? It involves academic mobility, international industrial placement, community outreach, cross-cultural understanding, and also knowledge transfer. So if you can see into the map where the aeroplane goes, yeah. So that's actually where UNISA is currently sending our students at. So we are sending to parts of Middle East. So in particularly right now, it's safe to send our students to Egypt. Before we send our students to Jordan, Oman, Morocco, yeah, just to name a few. But these days we only send them to Egypt. And then we also send them to UK, Western countries like Australia, and the Far East corner that would be to Korea and Japan. Of course, the Southeast Asia region. So our famous destination will be, one of it is Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam also, and so on. So as you can see, every destination represents an opportunity not only for learning, but also for collaboration, mutual respect, and societal contribution. So our objective is not simply to move students geographically, but our objective is to develop global engaged individuals who can contribute positively wherever they go. So I usually tell my students, yeah, every mobility begins with a passport, yeah, but its true destination is your personal transformation. Yeah. So the students sometimes they get excited going to new countries and all that, but sometimes they forgot to bring their identity, their values, their moral values as a Bruneian. How do they portray or represent UNISA to outside countries? Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Then here comes the Atamayus program. Yeah, it's one of the units in UNISA, and this is what I'm handling currently. So what exactly is Atamayus? Atamayus serves as UNISA's internalization platform. So it consists of 4 interconnected pathways. First is the Study Abroad Program, SAP, and Student Exchange Program, SEP. We also got internship program, IP, and lastly, community outreach program, COP. So each pathway provides a different avenue for students to develop academically, professionally, socially, and culturally. So what Atamayus unique is that it does not focus on mobility as a standalone activity, but instead it integrates mobility into a broader educational mission of the university itself. Yeah. So if you go to the next slide, I can show you the picture. Okay. The first picture, this is on a study abroad program. Yeah. So allow me to briefly highlight several examples. Yeah. Okay. Our students have studied at institutions such as Newcastle University in United Kingdom, Queensland University of Technology in Australia, Al-Azhar University in Egypt, International Islamic University, North Malaysia, and also the Management and Science University, MSU in Malaysia. So these are the students that were departed from last year, 2025. Next will be the SEP. So this is the student exchange program. So students participate in shorter academic exchanges. Yeah, so including in opportunities with Al-Azhar University and UNISA. And currently, even in Perbanas, I believe we got 2 students, yeah, 2 Bruneian students taking as EP. Then after that, they continue to IP. We can move to the next slide. IP is the internship program. So this is where the students gain workplace exposure internationally, enabling them to connect classroom learning with real-world professional environments. Yeah. And then next slide, that would be a community outreach program. Yeah. So and through COP, students engage directly with communities through outreach, humanitarian activities. We also have the service learning initiative. Yeah. So what is important here is that these are not isolated programs. Yeah. They are all connected through one common objective. So we have this one common objective of developing graduates who are globally competent yet socially responsible. Next slide. Okay, this is from mobility transformation. Yeah, so this slide summarizes what I believe is the most important shift in mindset. So traditionally, mobility, if you look into the left side, it would be the traditional model. So that would be travel, experience, and return. And then the journey just ends there. Yeah. If you look into the Atamayus model, which is on the right side, so you can see that we begin with the selection, preparation, mobility, reflection, and then community impact. So in other words, mobility is not the final goal. Yeah, it is merely one stage with a larger process. So students are carefully selected. You know, they have to reach certain CGPA to go abroad. And then they undergo preparation. So before they leave with the host country, we have to brief them. So what are the preparations that they need to do, the visa, accommodation, what that we have to watch out, yeah? Maybe the dress code and so on. Yeah. And then they participate in mobility activities, they reflect on their learning, and most importantly, they encourage to bring those experiences back to benefit the society. So this is how mobility becomes meaningful. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Governance framework of Atamayus. So now let us talk about the governance. Yeah. So effective mobility programs do not happen by accident. Yeah. So they require an institutional commitment. So at UNISA, governance operates through 4 interconnected levels. That would be, the first one would be university leadership, at Tamayus unit, faculties and academic coordinators, students and partner institutions. So this whole of university approach ensures accountability, consistency, and sustainability. Yeah? So internalization should never be the responsibility of one office, but in fact, everyone plays a role in the university. Yeah. So it must become part of the institutional culture. Yeah. Okay, next. Now, why I say that it needs to be part of the institutional culture is where here I bring the question of the integrity itself. Yeah. So why does the integrity matter? So this brings me to the central theme of my presentation. Why integrity? Yeah. So for us, integrity in student mobility could mean 6 things. Yeah. So first is the fair selection. So students must be chosen based on transparent and equitable criteria. And then second, transparent process. Transparent process meaning once we see the CGPA, we know the attitudes are okay, you know, they're well behaved, they're well engaged in the co-curriculum activities and all the sorts of activities in universities, and also they pass, or maybe they excel in the faculty requirements and all that, then we can see that, okay, so these are the students that to be sent off to that post university. Yeah, we begin the interview processes and so on. Yeah. Then third will be the student welfare. So we take care of our students' allowances. Yeah, we keep them up to date on situations. What are the expectations, do's and don'ts throughout the stays in the host country. And fourth would be the academic accountability. Yeah, where they have to study, they make sure that the GPA cannot drop. Yeah, and make sure that they really learn and listen well and adopt to the learning environment easily. Yeah. And then fifth, responsible partnership. So this is between the institution itself. Yeah. So we both will have a good rapport towards with the host university, and we try to maintain this relationship, and it needs to be carried out throughout the years. Yeah. And then responsible partnership. And lastly, it would be the ethical conduct abroad. So I often say internalization without integrity becomes tourism. Yeah? But internalization with integrity, it becomes education. So that distinct is extremely important because integrity determines whether mobility creates genuine educational value or merely attractive statistics. Yeah? So we have to bear in mind that we're sending our students off for them to be a global skilled student. Yeah? Someone who is prepared for the future. Yeah? Someone who is prepared for any kind of challenges that brings upon them. Yeah? And therefore, it comes to my next slide, the Myers integrity model. Yeah. So this slide represents the framework that emerged from our experience managing international mobility programs. So at the center is one core principle, integrity, and around it are 6 interconnected dimensions. So we have the governance, academic quality, student welfare, strategic partnership, community impact, and sustainability. So these dimensions are not independent. Yeah? They reinforce one another. If governance is weak, and so the student welfare status will suffer. Yeah. Again, if partnerships are weak, then academic quality also drops. It also suffers. Yeah. So if community impact is absent, then sustainability becomes questionable. So all of those 4 SDG that I mentioned will be useless. It will be of a waste. Yeah? So here, therefore, integrity serves as the glue that holds the entire ecosystem together. Yeah? Okay, next slide. The Myers legacy. So I come, there is 7. Yeah. Ultimately, the success of the mobility program should not be measured by destination. Yeah, we try to avoid, the question of where we are sending the students to, UK or Australia, or is it better to send them off in the Western world or to the Far East? Anywhere, it does not actually matter. We should be measuring it by the outcome of the students. Yeah, what kind of graduates are we actually producing? Yeah, so at Myers unit, we aim to develop responsible global citizens. Yeah, we cross-cultural. We want to create cross-cultural ambassadors. We want them to be ethical. We aim to produce globally employable graduates. We want change agents and innovators. Yeah. We want them to be community-centered professionalism, and lastly, most importantly, I think it would be sustainable communities. Yeah, so these are not merely educational outcomes. These are societal as a whole, yeah, societal outcomes. Because education ultimately it exists to serve the society, yeah, and we are actually producing students who are about to be the future leaders, yeah. So in my next slide, here I talk about, as I approach the conclusion, I invite all of us to rethink the internalization. Yeah. So internalization is not about just sending students abroad. Yeah. It is about shaping ethical and globally competent graduates It is not about just crossing the borders, just satisfying the visa examination and all that, but it is about creating the impact across the borders. Yeah. And it is not about mobility alone, but it should be about meaningful engagement. Yeah. And it is not about global exposure alone, but it is about global responsibility. Yeah. And in the past, universities, sorry, can go to the next slide. Reaching to the conclusion. Yeah, in the past, as I was saying, universities often ask, how many students can we send abroad? Yeah. So today, perhaps we can ask a different question. We should be asking, how many lives can our students positively impact while they are abroad? Yeah. So at UNISA, through the Atamais programs, we believe that the internalization is not about crossing borders. It's not just about meeting new people, building new networks. Yeah. It is about building bridges. Yeah. Bridges between nations, bridges between cultures, bridges between universities and community as well. Then ultimately, these bridges, it bridges the humanity and sustainable development. Yeah. So with that, I thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Radia. It's very interested presentation. You emphasize that the internalization become a major KPI for the all university, right? But it also must be have the global impact, right? Okay.
Correct.
Nah, and thank you once again. And now we move to the third speaker. We have Dr. Sofyan Lusa, SAMcom. Halo Pak Sofyan, how are you?
Halo Bu Dr. Mardiana. I'm
Okay,
good, thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for
thank
inviting.
you. Yes, so let me read the CV of Dr. Sofyan. Dr. Sofyan, CEO and co-founder Tourism Tech, TripWe, and senior researcher, Lab e-Government and e-Business, Faculty of Computer Science, Universitas Indonesia, and also got his doctoral from Computer Science from Universitas Indonesia. Dr. Sofyan Lusa has extensive experience in technology innovation, digital transformation, tourism development, and applied research that directly benefit for community. We have the right to have you, sir, with us today, and the screen is yours. You can start your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, my colleague Dr. Mardiana, for having me in this event, and also very good morning, valuable speaker, and all the participants. Today, I would like to discuss about and share about our research actually, and then our experience focusing in how to build the strategies for Indonesia startup in Indonesia. That's I think that would be interesting topic because now in Indonesia we have a backbone for the economic growth. It's about we have a targeted around 20% contribution from the digital economic until 2045. So this is the also our actually we have published a book according to all our research in April 2 months ago. So I will give the title of the presentation is conquering the valley of death. Is it the practitioner field guide for the hardest traits of the startup journey actually. So the book is written together with Dr. Sony Hendra Sudadharma, who represents the government perspective through the ComDG, and while I represent the perspective of industry and academia. So this book is closely aligned with the topic given to me related to technopreneurship in Indonesia. Uh, for your information, it is the result of the 3-year research beginning at 2002 to 2024. The essence of this book is uh, can serve, we hope, a guide for Indonesian startup journey, especially in understanding the gap between the promising idea and business that actually generate revenue. It is grounded entire in the Indonesian context, and the book as well explained that so many startup fail in this gap and how to discipline new minutes of across it. We wrote this book for everyone especially for the ecosystem in startup Indonesia, for founder, investor, government, academic, and industry player. Okay, let me start. So, what is the definition of the technopreneurship? In the plain terms, it is combination technical skill with an entrepreneurial spirit and turning knowledge, research, and technology into the real economic value. So it is not just owning the tech uh, into owning the tech company, but it's being someone who create the genuine solution actually. So the true technopreneur has a four trait. You can see that they innovate instead of imitated. They build a growth big and scale, not to stay small. They solve a real and validated the problem, not just their own assumptions. And they take a measure risk, willing to fail fast, learn from the data, and then pivot. But there is a challenge in Indonesia, especially. There's innovator face the unique hostile terrains, and we call it the silent chasms, that we call it the valley of death. That what we uh, um, find in the 3 years research. So you can see that this is the fact, the valley of death, the real chasm in Indonesia. Let me show you why this matter. With the hard number, Indonesia only 1 to 5% of the digital startup is survive. Roughly, it's about a 3% actually. The value rate is about 99%, and we know that globally, average survival rate is around 10%. So in the developed market, it is 24% or higher. That means Indonesia like about the 7 times behind. The value of that is the critical gap between having a idea or a prototypes and building a business that earns a steady revenue. So this is exactly where most Indonesian startup collapse before they ever make a stable money. And let me put a simple way, only about 1 in 100 make it across. So this is the our fact finding in uh, life cycle in startup in Indonesia. So let we put in the gap in side by side. Of every startup that reaches sustainable commercializations in Indonesia, it's just a 1 to 5%. The global average is 10%, and then its developed markets like US and Europe is about 24% or more. This even 7 times gap Indonesia need to close. This is not meant to this encourage us as Indonesian startup. That means to be honest about the size of the challenge, or so that we can act on it, or how we can work together to solve this problem. And I move to anatomy of the chiasms. Like I mentioned you before, there are two valley of that Indonesia. I will elaborate each valley. The number one valley is now we can say the first valley has happened early between having an idea and getting seed funding. So the startup must build how to convincing the prototype before its own money runs out. It usually die when the idea isn't validated. the cash run dry and no angel investor bites in the first round. So the second valley is about come after seed funding. Now the startup must prove people genuinely wants and will pay for the products, and that's the business can actually make a money. It's die from the fake, for example, product market fit, burning cash with no path to profit, or failing to win the next round of investor or next angel investor. And there is the uncomfortable truth, to be honest with you, in both valley that temptation to polish the data and exaggerate the result is strongest. So that's why in this stage we need the integrity from the founder and co-founder of the startup. Okay, let me give you the visualization about the how the survival curve from the idea to the seed funding to scale up and the real profit. So you may see this in the slides. The first valley is sit between the ideation and seed. Bootstrap money has to atlas the race to fundable products, and most of these casualties are never be recorded, and company that's quite die before the proofings anyone what they build. So the second valley is sit between the seed and growth. The startup must prove genuine product market fit and a route to healthy margin. And this casualty have named you will recognize like GDID, Begi-Begi, Kohive, Fabilio, all shut down in the 2002 and 2023 when the cash burnout ran any path to profit. And this is the it's helped to see the whole journey at once. So a digital startup that we have been researched as goes the 6 stages in Indonesia. Number one, in nations, that's been validating the idea and conforming the core teams. And the two is a pre-seeds, building a market MPV, market evaluated, and then usually with own money, bootstrapping. Three, seed getting funding and passing the product market fit. And four, growth, expanding the market and scaling up. And number five is growth. Sorry, number five is maturity. Maturity, that means focusing on efficiency, profit, and long-term strategy. And the last stages is about exit. Either whether they going to IPO, public, getting the acquirer, or simply stay private or profitability. The key things to remember: this is a marathon, not a sprint. So, and every stage is connect to the next stages. So if you fail in one stage, that will be impacted to another stage. Okay, what is the root cause? Why the startup fail in Indonesia? So actually, this is not the one reason. Of course, there's a lot of reasons. We can see benchmarking around the world. In global benchmarking, there's be starting from the year 1 to year 2, a lot of startup is going to collapse. In Indonesia, it is almost always it's like a pie up problems. In our research in the books, we group it into the four. Number one is first product and market trap. That means failing to find product market fits, reading atau misdiagnosing the real problem actually what they will give it to the market, and copying the foreign model without adapting it with the local context. Second is about the funding dilemma. Is running out of the business, failing the how they can convince the next investor, or managing the finance poorly. The third is about the human factor. The human factor means the weak of or conflicts around the teams, difficulty recruiting the digital talents, and ineffective execution of the business plan. And the fourth is about the ecosystem and external factors. That mean bad market timings, wrong market timings. Sometimes uh, there's a lot of policy that's not yet optimized, and limited infrastructure that usually is several this compounding together actually that bring the startup down or collapse in Indonesia. And so, of course, end of our research, we asking the expert and we gathering all the from the pentahelix as respondents. So we come up. There is a four survival founder survival kits that we offering to the stakeholder. And for your information, this is the how the investor, I think, looking for Indonesian startup at the moment, because there is a difference between the mindset of investor before the pandemic and post the pandemic. Before pandemic, most of the investor looking for the growth, so they tends to be focusing atau emphasizing with the growth of the startup. But after the pandemic, the mind of the investor, they will change to the foundation of the startup. That means the profitability. So that's why. So what does should the founder actually do? Here's the state by state actually. It's like a survival kits at the origination, the validate of the problem first and the solution second. This is very important. Deep research and with the brilliance as uh, how you can validate your idea fit with the problem they're facing by the market. At the pre-seed stage, reach the working product fast with the minimum sources. Every smart pivot by you a more runway. So that's why we need to make sure that all the cash that you use for the in the early stages, you have to focusing on the research what market want from your solutions. At the seed stage, product market fit is not the sign up; it is user who keep the paying. At the at the growth, it doesn't scales until your unit economic are positive. Growth without profits only magnifies the problem actually. And on the teams, a founder vision sometimes mismatch is a time bomb. So in Indonesia, we saw that some founder and co-founder, when they get the money in the early stage, sometimes they use not for build or creating the MBV first, but they increasing the salary, renting the good office, buying a car, and so on. That also uh, about the culture when they got the big money in the beginning. The local context means do not copy paste from the Silicon Valley, for examples. Indonesia is unique. Context is your advantage, so we have to learn specifically what the local contents want from your solutions. Okay, we create as well the lesson for the investor as well as a playbook. So for navigating the high risk zone. So the valley is risky, but it also the best entry point. If you can tell the real traction from the good story, a few principles that may be the what investor want to hear from the Indonesian startup. The valley is the most critical time for the due diligence, is number one, and where the most attractive valuation life. I think this is also very important of post the pandemic. The investor not looking for growth, but also they move to how can the startup can be survive in the long run, and it's about the learn how to separate true product and market fit from the hallucination traction. Actually, would user actually miss the product if it vanish? So look beyond the casing the next unicorn, for example, back startup with the clear path to profits. So yes, entering the first valley is risky, but it offer the biggest upside actually. The best investor at a real value through the connection and mentorship, not just the money. So after the tech winter, for example, post the pandemic, be selective, but keep the door open for promising early bit of the uh, startup. And we also give the recommendation for government. This is very important because my colleague from ComDG as well, they focusing on the how to develop the startup ecosystem in Indonesia. So we have a six recommendation for governments based on our research. You can see that this we categorize with the urgent, high, and medium. For the urgent, we see that the government has a crucial uh, role to and the message is quite simple. For example, for the government actually, say from the quantity to quality. That means stop measuring the success how many startup is born. Measure how many survive. They also our recommendation. The book offer you can see that six recommendation. The two most urgent is appoint a single digital policy orchestrator with the real cross-ministry authority and set aside dedicated budget to help a startup across the valley, not just a launch new ones. And the high priority also harmonize the overlapping regulation into a single compliance window. That means strengthen the existing. We count that 99 incubator with the focus on the post MPV phase and design a measurable program for 500 digital talent a year matched to the real industry needs. And finally, evaluate the policy on the real data, survival rate and economic impact, not just the registered the startup counts. And this is the share bring us to the point of the heart of the books, our research, as the researcher put in, conqueror, the value of that is not the individual fight actually. This is the shared struggling. Every actor has a role. As government act as an orchestrator and a regulator, academia produce job ready talent and become a real incubator and not just a classroom, and investor entry earlier and peer capital with the mentorship. Industry become a first customer and partner for the valley state startup, and the founder validate deeper execute with the discipline and master of the Indonesian context. So there no single actor can cross these valleys alone. And the last slide is about the let we put together the key lessons. First, the valley of death is real. That means the 99% fail. So face it with the strategy, not blind optimism. Second, we talking about the validate before you accelerate. Chase the genuine product market fit, not a fake kind of bill on the promo or cash burns. Third, manage your runway. Honestly, money polling reports only delay the value. That's why integrating from the vendor, from the founder and co-founder is a must. It's never prevented. For local content is an advantage actually. Do not blindly copy foreign model, especially from Silicon Valley that always some startup do in Indonesia. Fit it's about the innovation is a marathon. The moment you stop innovating, you will digging your own grave actually. Remember Coprol and Kakus, this is the good examples. And six, it is the shared struggle that need everyone in ecosystem. Thank you so much, Ibu Dr. Mardiana. Let's be concurring the day for the Indonesian startup. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Dr. Sofian Lusa. You said that how the technical skill and entrepreneurial spirit will turn the knowledge, research, and technology into the real economic and business value with the local content and also collaboration all stakeholders, right? Okay. So I remind to all participants to prepare the question after the all speaker presentation. So we can move to the last speaker. Halo, Dr. Sersot Kanaev.
Hello.
Okay. So let me read your CV before. Dr. Sersot Kanaev as a Vice Rector for Research and International Relation at Tashkent International University, Uzbekistan, and got a PhD in Economic, Tashkent State University of Economic, Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Dr. Sersot Kanaev has extensive experience in research development, international collaboration, and also academic leadership. And thank you so much to have you with us today. And the screen is yours, sir. You can start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mariana. And it's my pleasure, great pleasure to participate in this esteemed conference. Let me share my screen. Okay, thank you very much again for inviting me to this prestigious conference, and I'm very delighted to present my research paper on this conference. As you mentioned, I am the Vice Rector for Research and International Relations at Tashkent International University, and at the same time, I serve as a research committee member at the Central Bank of Uzbekistan. So this is why my research is more focused on the monetary policy and banking reforms in Uzbekistan. So today's topic is financial resilience in times of crisis, utility-driven monetary policy in the emerging market, evidence from Uzbekistan. So here we have really challenging times we are living. There is a lot of geopolitical risks and economic defragmentation is happening around the world. So there is a lot of uncertainty in the world. So in this time, the financial resilience is very important to every country. They try to provide the financially sound system to make sure that the investors and the consumers and all the people, they have the safe and resilient financial system. So what we experienced in Uzbekistan late this for 5 years, like two overlapping shocks tested our financial system, not our, just all the around the world, that there is a COVID-19 pandemic and Russian-Ukraine war, which tested our financial system because we have very close relationship with Russia and Ukraine because we are the former Soviet Union country. So we have a very close relationship with Russia economically and politically, and a lot of like financial transactions and economic relations we have. That's why this Russia-Ukraine war and sanctions that imposed on Russia affected to our economy also. So we wanted to test how this shocks affected to our system. And lately, this year, February, there is a war between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. So this is also because Iran is a kind of our neighbor, and with Iran we can easily go to the ocean because we are a double landlocked country. So it's very difficult for us to export our products. So that's why the Iran also the one of the Iranian war also affected our economy, but in our research we focused only this two shocks. One of them is health shock, another one is a geopolitical shock. How this affected to our financial system. So for our question is how the central bank protect price stability and a healthy banking system at the same time, because it seems that these two goal is they are kind of they oppose each other. So that's why we want to test how this affects to our banking system. So if you look at the integrity angle, if central bank has a credible, transparent, and rule-based monetary policy, then it will provide trust among the participants of financial market, and if they have a trust, then the business goes smoothly. That's why especially in the uncertainty times, the trust is very important. So our case is Uzbekistan is transition economy, which is transitioning from the planned economy to market-based economy, reforming its banking sector in real time and under fire. Because you may say that the Uzbekistan is independent from 1990, but after this modern in 2026, how it's still transitioning period, because our transition is very gradual, and sometimes we paused our transition. So it's really difficult to say whether we transition to the market economy or we are still in planned economy. So how we tested our research questions is let me a little bit tell about the banking system in Uzbekistan, how it works. So we have, as you know, in an economy, we have financial sector, but in Uzbekistan, it's bank-based financial sector. So you can see from my presentation, 97% of the financial sector assets belongs to the banks. So remaining 3% is non-bank financial organizations and insurance and other financial actors. But the majority, almost 100% of the financial sector assets belongs to the banks. And another caveat here is 65% of the bank assets belong to state banks. So the state plays a very big role in banks' rules and regulations. That's why the state bank holds the majority of the assets. Then it means there is a lot of monopoly and the market power of these state banks. But lately, our government is trying to privatize the state banks, but still we have a lot of work to do because we have right now around 35 banks, and out of these 35, 10 of them are the state banks, and their assets hold the 65% of the total bank assets in Uzbekistan. And central bank is transitioning to the inflation targeting, which is another like very challenging task for the central bank because since the most of the bank assets belong to state bank and they are very inefficient because when the state holds the banks, their efficiency will be very low because there is a lot of directed lending and other sort of programs that the state banks finances, and this financing is very inefficient. So the inflation targeting is started 2017, and government is trying to target the inflation at the 5%. But we had recently, like up to this year, we had double-digit inflation, and this year is just around 9%. We still have a long way to go to this 5% inflation rate. So then, if you look at the external shocks, what kind of external shocks we exposed during this lately, it's we have, as I said, deep trade and remittance ties with Russia. We have a lot of people who work in Russia and they send money to their relatives, to their families. So this is also one of the external shock because after Russia-Ukraine war and pandemic, this remittance uh, uh, decreased a lot. So that's why there was a external shock. And currency and inflation pressure from sanctions because as they say, trade relations. So we have a good trade relationship with Russia, and when there was sanctions, the pressure was on Russian currency, and after all the pressure, our currency also felt. So, and we have credit disruptions during pandemic also. I think this one is around the world. All the financial institutions they felt this kind of credit disruptions during pandemic. And our research question, as I mentioned, how monetary policy impacted on bank performance during this crisis, and what kind of challenge transmission channels it affected. So what kind of data we have? We have, as I said, 32 commercial banks, all operating banks, and monthly data we have from 2020, 2023, and all are collected from annual monthly bank statements from central bank and the bank itself. And we have three monetary policy instruments. First one is a policy rate, second one is a money market rate, and money growth rate, especially this M0 for the liquidity. And our method is a panel dynamic model. We use the system GMM, generalized moment of methods, and it's a good model for the taking into account the indigeneity because a lot of our independent variables are indigenous to the bank performance. That's why we use this GMM model. So our main result is this one. This in picture you can see policy rates impact is very high, but the money market rate and money growth rate is there is no any impact. It's very negligible and almost zero. But policy rate impacted positively on bank profitability. Higher policy rate associated with a stronger bank profitability even during the crisis. because during the crisis, monetary policy, central bank increased the policy rate several times, and when the peak of the uncertainty decreased, they decreased the policy rate also. So other instruments are almost zero. So the result is kind of very counterintuitive because tightening usually squeezes banks and their profitability decreases, but it isn't the case for the Uzbek banks. So why this happened? This is our question, and our main answer is it's because of the stabilization channel that policy rate impacted the profitability of the banks. So when the policy rate increased, it didn't make the lending margins higher. It compresses the lending measures. We also tested this one. You can look into our paper, which is published on. I will send the link of the paper if you like to look into our paper. So the main transmission channel is when the policy rate increased, the currencies because of the currency stabilization, the foreign exchange volatility decreased, and which caused the credit risk and provisions increase. So the lower volatility, lower risk, and which makes the healthier balance sheet of the banks. So then banks shifted to the lending to the safer borrowers. So it's the flight to quality, what we call it. So and so in plain language takeaway, what we call it, the credible policy rate hike calmed the system, and people and financial agents, they had a trust to the system, especially financial market, and the central bank's stance on the stabilizing the financial system. So the market and the banks make the profit from this trust and the integrity in the central bank's stance on the providing the healthy financial system and stable price level in Uzbekistan. So effect on the profitability in normal periods it's 1.2, but during COVID period it's 3.1, which increased because of this monetary policy increases, because as I said, it provided stability and stability in the currency rate, and because of the trust, that one increased. So its profitability and policy link, it was 2 to 3 times stronger during the pandemic, and price-based tools is not tools worked, but quantity-based tools, they didn't work during this pandemic and the sanctions period. So what kind of monetary policy you use during this crisis period is very important, especially in Uzbekistan, an emerging market case. Price-based tools are very important, and they work very well compared to quantity-based tools. So how this our findings connect to the conference theme. The integrity is as credibility, a transparent, rules-based central bank earns the trust that makes the rate signal work because of the communication channel of the central bank. The financial system agents, they trust credible actions of the central bank, and this policy integrity is the economic asset. And resilience through stabilization, sound monetary policy builds the macro stability on which sustainable, inclusive finance depends, and governance in transition as state banks privatize, transparent, equal access institutions become essential, integrity by design. And nowadays, our government working very hard to privatize our state banks, but it's quite difficult because, as I said, uh, we inherited this kind of state banks from the former Soviet Union, and our economy, uh, most of the big companies, financial organizations that belong to the government. That's why the attracting the foreign investors or local investors is quite difficult. But still, our government is working very hard. Recently, one of the largest mortgage-based commercial bank privatized by the Hungarian OTB bank. Now it's a very successful bank, so it's attracting this mortgage-based hypothec banks case attracting more and more foreign investors to our banking system. And I hope in near future, most of the state banks will be privatized, which will improve efficiency of these banks, and it will make easier for the central bank to achieve its 5% inflation targeting. So what does this mean for the policymakers? Policymakers should prefer price-based tools. Interest rate policy is more reliable than money supply expansion for protecting banking sector resilience, and very active, credible policy and good communication channel of the central bank during the crisis period it really pays off, and it will stabilize the currency market, and it will cushion the external shocks. So now we need to build integrity into the next phase. So we have to, as I said, reform our banking system by privatizing our state banks, and central banks should develop transparent auction-based liquidity access to all banks, because right now this liquidity access is more inclined to the state banks. So it should be auction-based, and even private banks and foreign banks should have access to these liquidity measures. And central bank should provide the countercyclical safeguards against the credit crunches, because based on what kind of crisis we are facing, our policy rate should and macroprudential and monetary policy should work to soothe the market and against these credit crises. So another thing that our central bank should develop is even more stronger communication and forward guidance, which will make easier to anchor the market and expectations of the market participants. Okay, my core messages in emerging markets under severe shocks, credible, integrity-driven monetary policy can protect both stability and healthy banking sector, not through the increasing the margin, but calming the whole system. So this is my core message. Thank you very much again. If you have any questions, I will go ahead, answer your questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sersok, for the interesting presentation about how the stability and healthy banking. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we enter the question and answer session. If you have question, you can raise hand or chat in chat room. You can mention your name. Is there anyone to question? Okay, before we write the question from participation, I start the question maybe for Dr. Nam Chamtri. Okay, Dr. Nan. So many universities still conduct community services in traditional way. So we need maybe perspective from your view. What the key strategies to transform the community services into international and sustainable initiative, the create the long-term impact, because most of our is a lecturer and student. This is very interested point of view to share with us about this. Dr. Nanchan?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mariana, for your questions. Yeah, I think that community service, we can do it not only at the domestic level, we can do it at the international level. It means that we can cooperate with many organizations outside our country. For example, in Vietnam, we have cooperate with an NGO. We call that is the On the Cup 30 is an NGO, and they cooperate with us to hold a conference for the young student, talk about the climate change, about the green transition, about the renewable energies, and there are many foreigners. They also come and share. The seminar, the forum conducted in English, and many students from other countries, not only UEF students, they come from many countries in Ho Chi Minh City. When they heard that UEF hold that conference, that seminar, they are willing to come and listen to many foreigner speaker. They share about their ideas. They share about some new tendencies in the world, new tendencies in the world, and to I think through those seminars, the student can increase their awareness about um, the green transition, and I think international level community service activities can help to bring the benefits for the student, for the young student. I think so.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nan. So it's open the whole collaboration, right, for next future with Perbanas Institute, especially for community services. Okay, thank you, Dr. Nan. Is there any question from participant? Not yet? Okay, not yet. So I continue the ask for second speaker, Dr. Radia. Is very interested because a mobile student program have a very impactful for global community services. So from the point of your view, Dr. Radia, how can a university maximize this program for students, not only gain international exposure, but also have the contribute to meaningful impact for global community services? Maybe you can share your experience for us, for all lecturer and student in Perbanas Institute. So all participants here. Dr. Radia?
All right. Okay, thank you for the question. I think you're asking about the preparation, isn't it? the preparation for if the students are going for any programs under the Tamayus, what will be the best approach, yeah, to for the students before they go, yeah. If I'm leading to that path, it would be like before they go to the program. So it'd be like either SAP or study abroad program, which is for 1 year, and then for SEP will be like 1 semester. For internship also 1 semester, as well as the community outreach program also 1 semester. So before they go to each program, they have to sit for pre-briefing session for each of these programs.
Okay.
At different times. But this is only particularly for students who are offered for each of these programs. Not, we don't really offer one student, let's say for one student, she is offered for SAP and COP or IC. So one student will only be receiving only one type of opportunity under the Atamayus program. And once they got the offer letter, then we have to, we select them, we look for their CGPA, make sure it goes into the ranges of certain level, yeah. So for level 1, it's usually 3.55 above. Then for level 2 would be 3.54 below until 2.00. That's for SAP and SEP. So the requirements for SAP and SEP is quite high compared to the internship program where they will do the industrial training abroad and community outreach program abroad as well. So we will give them, after the selection process, we would, inclusive of their interviews, we will, if they're selected, then we will put them together in one group and make sure that they will understand where to go, what are the expectations, what are do's and don'ts, yeah, what are the things that they need to do or to bring over to the host country. And each different countries have different living environments, and even the living culture is also different. So we don't really want them to be at the host country and experience a culture shock, although it is inevitable, to be honest, but we try to minimize the risk of that. So that's why we hold this briefing session. Then after that, we have to see like a mini counseling session. We put them together, and then we have to, not like a brainwash kind of thing, but in a way that we want them to really fully understand what they are getting into. Yeah. And then they need to understand as well that they are investing, we are investing our resources to them. So in return, they need to come back, come back, contribute to UNISA in return. So that's why we feel like, if we do send our students abroad, we need to select the best ones. We don't just send them, according to, just because they have high CGPA, but their social skills is quite low. That's actually, how to say, not biased, but we want the best out of the best. That's something that represents UNISA. So again, I think that I believe I've answered the question.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dr. Radia, because Perbanas also have initiative about study program abroad, so we can learn a lot from you. Okay, thank you. Dear participant, there is maybe any question? Hello? Not yet?
Pak Patria mau tanya, Pak Patria.
Oke, Pak Patria. Silakan, Pak Patria.
Okay. Mariana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, my question is for Dr. Serzat. Am I right? Okay. Dr. Serzat, you talking about the financial resilience in times of crisis. What I would like to know is how how you experience this crisis in Uzbekistan, and do you think is there any similarities or differences in Indonesia or in particular ASEAN? If you're not really familiar with Indonesian market, is there any similarities? Are there any differences so we could overcome this crisis? That's my question for Dr. Sergio. Thank you, Bu Mardiana.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your question. So here the main difference I think from the Asian countries is we have very close economic ties with Russia. So that's why the Russian-Ukraine war impacted us compared to other countries more severely because when the European countries and US imposed the sanctions, financial sanctions and other sanctions, it impacted to us also because our financial system also they have very close relationship with the Russian banks. So when they faced the sanctions, there was a very high risk to be driven into the second degree sanctions. That's why we had our central bank had to take extra measures to be not involved in the European or Russian US sanctions. But another thing is our most of the export import market also we have very good relationship with Russia. So this one also the disrupted supply chain because our one of the main trade partner is Russia and China. So the Russia was the actually number one trade partner in our trade partners. So that one decreased after this Russian-Ukraine war and because of the sanctions and we didn't stop actually the all the trades with Russia. It decreased or our cost increased. Exporting to the Russia or importing from the Russia increased, cost increased because of this. We need to find other ways to countermeasures of these sanctions costs a lot to our banks and our companies. So this is the main difference from the other countries like Asian countries. But Russia is a very enormous country and they export a lot of energy and agricultural products. In this way, they impact the other countries also. So it depends on how your financial system, because our research is mostly focused on the financial market. So this is depend on how your financial system is. What percentage of your financial system is dependent on this Russian-Ukraine war or the current war with Iran and US and Israel? If there is more share is compared to the other markets, then the central bank should take countermeasures to soothe the market, especially to decrease the inflation expectation of the people. Because if inflationary pressure is high and people expect more higher inflation expectation, then this one is a kind of sentiment of the market will be very bad. So this is even though the real impact is low, but if people expect higher impact, then it will severely impact the economy of the country.
Thank you, Dr.
I
Sergio.
think I answered your question.
How about the similarity? Do you see any similarity in some ways with the Indonesian ASEAN market?
I think the similarity is only in the energy markets you can see, but the other ways that there is no because I'm not quite sure about the financial market of the Indonesia, but I know that in Malaysia it's more like European system. It's not relied on the uh, Russia or the Ukraine market, so that they don't feel more pressure, I think. And in Asian countries, especially Indonesia and Malaysia, I think the state-owned banks share is very low compared to our country. It's the main difference because our country financial system dominated by the state banks. So they are the main price setters. Private banks they cannot compete with them because they have state-owned banks. They have uh, privilege to access to the state funds, but the private banks or foreign banks they don't have. In the Indonesian and Malaysian market, they are more open to the foreigners. There are a lot of foreign banks and private banks, so it's more diversified compared to our financial system. But the good side is most of the now research is also mentioning is if government share is high in the financial system, government can easily control the transmission of the negative impacts of the crisis to the economy. So because during this crisis, what the government did, they fund most of the money through state banks, and they directed a lot of directed lending to the private sector through these state banks. This is the main difference, I think, the compared to Indonesian or Asian countries and Uzbek banking system.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Serza.
Serjot. Okay. Dear participant, there's any question?
Ya, Umar,
Ya, monggo Pak Broto.
uh, talk with Dr. Radia. Dr. Radia, hello. Hello, Dr. Radia. Hello. Oh, leave.
Pak Broto, you have technopreneurship class. Okay, maybe you
Yeah.
can share idea or ask to Dr. Sofyan Lusa talking about the technopreneurship.
Okay. Dr. Sofyan Losa. Halo, Dr. Sofyan.
Halo Pak Broto.
Yeah,
Yes, Pak.
nice to meet you in
Nice
this
to meet you.
conference, Doctor. I'm a lecturer in technopreneurship subject in Perbanas, especially in information technology faculty. But in Perbanas, the subject called we called innovation engineering and technopreneurship.
Yeah.
I hope you can suggest with for me to how about technopreneurship and how about innovation engineering in to develop for especially develop in SM is business. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Broto, for your question. I think there is a difference between the innovation engineering and technopreneurship. If you're talking about the innovation engineering, you're talking about the ecosystem. So innovation itself is a result from the stakeholder in the ecosystem. For example, if we see in Silicon Valley, for example, in the beginning they
Oh,
call it a triple helix: the government,
yeah, yeah.
university, and industry. But if you're talking about the technopreneur, is mean, in my opinion, at least it's depend on the people or the business side. So how the people can see the solution into the, for example, technology to solve the problem, especially for the social problem. That's my opinion, Pak Broto.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Pak
Thank
Broto.
you.
Okay,
Thank you, Pumar.
Okay, thank you, Pak Broto. I continue one question to Dr. Sofian Lusa talking about the startup, how to struggle startup in Indonesia. And we have the community services program in the university. Maybe you can share the perspective how to match, yeah, a startup implemented the startup program you using all through the community program in university.
Yeah, I think thank you, Dr. Madiana, for your question. I think university is playing the important part of the ecosystem because we know that we can shopping the problem actually in university. A lot of the problem that uh, collected by the university through the research and so on. So if I suggest, for example, through the incubator or accelerator, in my opinion, a lot of the problem that address in university because they have research in society, in education, in tourism, and so on. So I think that the good foundation if we can like a problem repository for the specific field. For example, how the specific area in Indonesia, for example, they have a local content. For example, in Medan, they're focusing in trading. In Bandung, they're focusing in gaming. In Labuan Bajo, Bali, and so on, they're focusing in small medium enterprise and tourism aspect. And if we can find what it pinpoints, and then university can collect them together, I think that the good idea for the student or for the founder or co-founder to design the solution, how the technology can help solve the pain point in every state of the stakeholder phases.
Okay.
Okay, Pak.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Bu.
Dr. Sofan Lusa. So
Thank
I
you.
back to the audience and participant. Is there any question? Not yet. So if there are no questions, so this is last question for Dr. Ser. So, Doctor? Okay. So I asked about how the community services initiative can contribute to improving financial resilience and improving economic empowerment right now. We are talking from the point of view of community services, sir.
You mean in Uzbekistan?
Yes, you can share in Uzbekistan.
Okay, community services actually I can talk about the experiences that we have in Central Bank of Uzbekistan and at our university, Tashkent International University. In Central Bank of Uzbekistan, they have recently organized the research committee, and we have on this research committee around 15 researchers, and I'm one of the researchers. And what we do is we provide community service to the central bank. What we do when the central bank conducts some kind of research, or if they have some kind of research agenda, they share the ideas with us, and we, as experts in this field, we provide our guidance, expert guidance, how they should do, and we give this advice to conducting the experiments, for example, economic experiments, field experiments, or laboratory experiments, because most of the uh, like research questions right now in Uzbekistan, especially in banking sector, they are related to behavioral aspects of the credit rationing and the credit demand for the credit from the population. So in this case, most of the central bank staff, they are very like uh, recent graduates of the university. So when they have the research question or the policy guidance, when they need, when they write the research paper or the guidance, we provide the review to their research and guidance. This is the one aspect, and we occasionally, actually, every week on Saturday, we organize research seminars to them. So this is the another aspect, and on these research seminars, central bank also invites other university professors, faculty to join them. They can join online and offline, and usually we present, or the central bankers, the staff of the central bank, they present their research papers, and we discuss and we guide them how to improve their research. And on this under this central bank, we are implementing the opening of the new research journal and PhD defense committee and other things that will help to improve research output of the central bank, because most of the central bank's decisions, it impacts to the whole country. So all the decisions should be based on the research, because if it's not based on the research, so their decision will be not welcome to the government itself, and the people also will question a lot to their decisions. That's why the most of the regulations and other directives of the central bank nowadays, they're focusing, making them based on the research outcomes of this research committee and the central bank's research department also. Nowadays, in our central bank, we have statistics and research department, and the central bank is dividing it into the two departments. Research department will be separate department, and all the research and will be done on this research department. And as a committee member, our main contribution will be to guide them. So this is the main community service that we are doing in central bank. And in our university, what we are doing, we have a lot of initiatives to help school children to improve their English skills and math and IT, especially AI. So what we do is we organize a small lecture series to school children to improve their English skill, math, and IT skills, and all of these are free of charge. So our faculty, they go every once in a while, actually twice a month, and they have, if the students, they want to come to our university and study, it's also possible, and they join to our classes, especially foundation classes, to improve their English or math skills. This is also community service that our faculty are providing. Another aspect, we have AI center, AI training center, which is developed based on the grant of the KOICA, Korean Development Agency, and Jeju University of Korea. Here, what we do, we train public servants how to use AI in their daily tasks to improve their efficiency. This is also free of charge. This is also community service that provided by our faculty. Okay, thank you very much. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sersat. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can close the community services session today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I said thank you so much once again to all speakers, Dr. Sersat, Dr. Sofian Lusa, Dr. Radia, and also Dr. Namchan. And we have a lot of experience, knowledge while you're sharing. I think I can back to the time to the MC again. Silakan Mas Adi.
Well, thank you to Ibu Dr. Mardiana for the discussion with all the panelists for today discussion. But before we conclude, Ibu Ana, please allow me to address an item that was unintentionally omitted from our program. I sincerely apologize to Ibu Dr. Mardiana for having omitted one of the important items in our programs, which is the presentation of the certificate of appreciation for our moderator today. Yeah, may I invite the chairman of the Proficient 2026, Bapak Patria Laksamana, PhD, to present the certificate to our moderator, Ibu Dr. Mardiana. Pak Patria?
Cannot unmute myself, Pak. Pas nanti I cannot unmute myself di komputer saya. The host is not allowing. Huh? Sorry. Harusnya saya dikasih akses. Unmute. Oke. Oke. Thank you, Pak Adi. Ini masih di unmute ya? Enggak, udah. Oke. Thank you, Pak Adi. Actually, can you hear me, Pak Adi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
We like to thank our moderator today, Bu Mardiana, as a form of our gratitude. We're gonna give Bu Mardiana a certificate who is already given us meaningful and insightful moderating from our inspiring speakers. So this is from our committee, Bu Mardiana, we give you a certificate. Hopefully, all the participants enjoy this session guided by Miss Mardiana. So again, thank you. We give a big round of applause to Bu Mardiana and also our inspiring speakers, Pak
Yes.
Dr. Sofyan Lusa, Bu Dr. Hajah Halimatul Mada, Pak Dr. Serzot, and also Dr. Samtri. As on behalf of Perbanas Institute, on behalf of the committee, Proficient 2026, we'd like to thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Pak Patria, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final session of this opening session today. So allow me to inform some additional information regarding with the community service program as follow. The seminar certificate will be distributed via email, and following this opening event at 1 p.m. Indonesian time, we will proceed with the community service conference parallel session. So we kindly request all the participants to access the Zoom meeting that has been arranged and sent to the email addressed by our committee. And at the end of the session, and do not miss at this moment, the committee will also announce the award for the best paper and the best presenter of the International Community Service Program of Proficient 2026. And on the behalf of the committee, I would like to express our gratitude to all the parties, the panelists, the moderator, the partners, and sponsors involved who have contributed to the success of this event. Allow me to read some partners and sponsors of the Provision 2026, Asuransi Stako Mandiri, PT Bank Rakyat Indonesia Persero Tbk, Perbanas, Perhimpunan Bank Nasional, Lembaga Penjamin Simpanan, Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, APP Group, PT Rintis Sejahtera, PT Pegadaian, Bank Mandiri, PT Triwahana Universal, PT Sarana Multi Infrastruktur Persero, PT Bank Sentral Asia Tbk, PT Pertamina Persero, PT Bank Negara Indonesia Persero Tbk, PT Inti Indosawit Subur, PT Jaminan Kredit Indonesia, BTN, BRI Life, PT Asuransi Tripakarta, PT Asuransi Kredit Indonesia, PT Bank Syariah Indonesia Tbk, Alobank, BRI Insurance, PT Raja Wali Nusantara Indonesia Persero atau ID Food, PT Permodalan Nasional Madani, PT BNI Life Insurance, dan NPT Bank Victoria International Tbk. Once again, thank you very much for your presence and kind attention. We look forward to seeing you again at another occasion and have a wonderful day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Thanks again
Thank
all
you.
speakers.
Brilliant.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.